its biggest haul as yet. 524 oxygen concentrators recovered from 2 restaurants at Khan Market and 1 in Lodi Colony. Raids are also being carried out at farmhouses in South Delhi. 4 employees of Navneet Kalra, the owner of Khan Chacha and Dayal Opticals in posh Khan Market in New Delhi, have been arrested. Now, according to Delhi police, they imported oxygen concentrators for about 20,000 rupees each and sold it for about 70,000 rupees each. India Today's Arvind Ojha and Tanseem Haider bring you a top story.
Humanity shamed as a pandemic becomes a business opportunity for some. The Delhi police on Thursday suspected some nefarious activity at the well-known Delhi restaurant bar Negeju in the upscale Lodi colony, which led to their premises being searched and the recovery of 32 oxygen concentrators. 4 accused who were nabbed revealed the location of a farmhouse in South Delhi, and the police seized 387 more concentrators from that farmhouse after the raid. That was the tip of the iceberg. The police conducted raids on Friday in Khan Market, at the famous Khan Chacha restaurant and the Town Hall restaurant. 96 concentrators were recovered from Khan Chacha and 9 from the popular Town Hall. During the investigation, Delhi police found that the mastermind of the racket is Navneet Kalra, a well-known businessman associated with Dayal Opticals and Khan Chacha, Negeju and the Town Hall Restaurant Bar, some of the top nightlife hotspots in the capital.
This is the Khan Chacha restaurant right here, from where the oxygen concentrator has been brought down by the police team. The lock, I can show you, that has been broken, and then police got inside the restaurant.
Police say that the accused used to buy these concentrators for 23 to 30,000 rupees and sell them for 70,000 rupees. India Today has accessed exclusive WhatsApp chats of Navneet Kalra, where he shares his account details with people who wanted to buy the concentrators in the grey market. India Today has also accessed a video from April the 26th, where people can be seen queuing up outside Khan Chacha to collect their concentrators. As India continues to battle the deadly second wave of the pandemic, some COVID vultures are busy profiteering and exploiting the vulnerable. With Kumar Kunal and Arvind Ojha in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
The Delhi police want Navneet Kalra to join investigations. They have initiated a manhunt for the businessman. Navneet Kalra is associated with Dayal Opticals and several posh restaurants, including Khan Chacha, from where 96 concentrators were recovered. According to the Delhi police, Navneet Kalra, he switched off his mobile phone and he's apparently hiding either in Haridwar, Rishikesh or somewhere in Uttarakhand. The Delhi police are also hunting for Gagan Duggal, again alleged to have been involved in the black marketing of oxygen concentrators. So what exactly is an oxygen concentrator? What does it do? And why is an oxygen concentrator so much in demand that a device that used to cost anything between 25 to perhaps 30,000 now is not available, even if you're willing to pay a lakh or a lakh and a half? This is an oxygen concentrator, much in demand these days. This is a 5-liter machine. This comes with a 2-year warranty. Let's unbox this machine and show you what the oxygen concentrator is and what it's capable of. So now when you take a look at this machine, read the documents very carefully. Let's now unbox this machine for you. It comes with the cannula and the humidifier. Let's take out the machine. It's about 19.5 kgs in weight. So you need perhaps 2 people to operate it. Rather simple to unbox and operate. The electricity cable around it, connect it to the power point. There is also a cable underneath. You need to cut that. That's for the compressor, not to move in transportation. I've cut that. Read the documents very carefully. The humidifier also has the minimum and maximum limit of how much water does the humidifier, how much water it should have. Let me now fill this. So this is minimum, this is maximum. This is minimum. I filled it just a little below the maximum mark. Then tighten it carefully, see water doesn't slip, water doesn't come out of it. This is the nozzle. This is where the nozzle is supposed to be connected. You connect that. Again, make sure you're connecting it properly, no leaks. When you've checked it's been done, then you bring out the cannula. Two sides to it. One side goes in here. And then you switch it on. It's good to go. The machine comes with a display. It's at normal right now. This lever, of course, tells you, this knob, at what level you want the oxygen. Your doctor will tell you how much is required. This is 5 liters. This is the maximum. You can keep taking it down to 4, 3, 2, 1. Also comes with, it's functioning normally. It's producing oxygen at the moment. And then the other side, you can just put this in your nostril and you can start breathing. This, as many say, is truly a lifesaver. Of course, you have to be careful. You cannot smoke anywhere close to the oxygen concentrator, and it says so right next to the device. Now, let me bring in our guest. The Delhi police say that criminal profiteering from the pandemic was on. The concentrators were bought for anything between 20 to 25,000 and was being sold, and they were being sold for about 70,000 at a time when people were dying without oxygen. There have been a series of raids in the past week. Should all concentrators now be sent to government hospitals? Or is there merit in a Delhi court order that's allotted at least some of the concentrators for treatment of policemen and legal officers combating COVID? Joining me on India First, Asim Sanyal, CEO of Consumer Voice. Vikram Singh is former Director General of Uttar Pradesh Police.
Good evening.
Vikas Singh is former Additional Solicitor General, and Manan Mishra is the Chairman of the Bar Council of India. Mr. Vikram Singh, you being a former DGP, I want to understand from you, sir, if some businessmen, they were importing oxygen concentrators and selling it, perhaps at an undue profit online, what's wrong with it, sir? It's an opportunity that they saw in an adversity. How is this a criminal offense?
Mr. Gaurav Sawant, had it been a legitimate opportunity, it would have been a healthy and an appropriate business practice. But this enterprise is covered by Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Supply of Essential Commodities Act 1980, and also covered by the Disaster Management Act, Profiteering, Epidemic Diseases Act, and the Indian Penal Code also. I mean, if I were to go on and on, it is not a healthy and a straightforward business practice. It is profiteering at its worst. And I would also recommend to the Delhi police to announce handsome rewards on the apprehension of Navneet Kalra and Gagan Duggal. It is certainly not an ethical business practice. It is an organized group of individuals who are into organized crime, and organized crime is a different ballgame altogether. Therefore, the police need to put their act together and get, you see, 570 concentrators would translate into a 50,000 rupees a piece, translates into a profit of, illegal profit of 25 crore rupees. And therefore, I would say that the police are right on the track, and the Economic Offences Wing need to go probe it further, interrogate, and on the basis of the interrogation report, you will unearth much, much more than what is apparent today. They are high-heeled, well-appointed criminals, and they need to be taken to task. Gaurav.
Asim Sanyal, Delhi Police Commissioner, has just said that Indian values. They're about helping out others in times of crisis, especially the poor and those in distress. Making a killing in these times is actually a crime against humanity. Do you agree with this, that this is a serious offense and that Navneet Kalra and others need to be booked for this?
Gaurav, completely agree with what Mr. Singh said. In fact, that this is a very serious offense because this is an essential commodity today in shortage, and today the government is struggling with the availability of such a material, in fact, and lives are being saved. You see, it is important for us to all contribute towards a societal advantage, which is the healthcare for all, in fact, and few profiteering elements who are actually involved in this should be brought to books, and Delhi police must be commended upon their perfect judgment in terms of apprehending at the right time, and I repeat, the right time of the crime being reported.
Okay.
Basically because of simple reason that today the consumers are feeling that this deprivation is because of government laxity. It is not.
Okay.
And there's an element of society involved in it, and that is what needs to be brought out. Gaurav.
Manan Mishra, you know, there have been multiple raids this past week, and hundreds of concentrators have been recovered. Should all of these concentrators, 524 of these, 174 that were recovered earlier, another 50 that were recovered before that, should all of them not be sent to different government hospitals? Or, in your appreciation, is it okay for a Delhi court to allot some or to give some to Delhi police and to judicial officers who are battling COVID, sir?
नहीं, इस आदेश में हम किसी ढंग का कोई फॉल्ट नहीं पा सकते हैं, किसी ढंग की कोई गलती नहीं है, इसलिए कि आपने देखा पिछले दिनों बहुत सारे जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स एवं इलाहाबाद के एक सिटिंग जज का डेथ हो गया, दिल्ली में कितने जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स डिस्ट्रिक्ट जजेस का डेथ हो गया, परसों एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट जज का बिहार में डेथ हो गया, कितने मजिस्ट्रेट जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट मर गए ट्रीटमेंट के अभाव में, ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर के अभाव में। तो इसलिए अब पुलिस अथॉरिटीज वो भी 24 घंटे कोरोना वॉरियर्स की तरह काम कर रहे हैं, तो इसमें 12 सिलेंडर, सिर्फ 12 सिलेंडर कोर्ट के ऑर्डर से दिया गया है पुलिस अथॉरिटीज को और जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स को। तो हम नहीं समझते हैं कि इसमें कोई गलती है। हाँ, एज ए लीडर ऑफ द बार ये मेरा एक कंसर्न, सीरियस कंसर्न है। हजार वकील मर गए अभी तक पूरे देश में, उत्तर प्रदेश में, बिहार में, यहाँ तक कि दिल्ली में, हर एक स्टेट में, आंध्र प्रदेश में कितने सैकड़े वकील, हजारों वकील मर गए, और अभी कितने लोग बेड पे हैं, उनको बेड नहीं मिल रहा है किसी हॉस्पिटल में, ऑक्सीजन की कमी है, वेंटिलेटर्स की कमी है, लेकिन किसी सरकार का कोई ध्यान नहीं है। इसके लिए अभी हमने आज ही एक लेटर लिखा है ऑनरेबल चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया को कि हमारे लेटर को PIL ट्रीट करके वकीलों के लिए अगर हम स्पेशल नहीं है तो कम से कम इंपॉर्टेंट जरूर है। पिछले 12-13 महीने से हम भी कोरोना वॉरियर्स की तरह जनता की सेवा कर रहे हैं, कोर्ट्स खुले हैं, जुडिशियल अफसर अगर वर्क कर रहे हैं तो वकीलों की मदद से कर रहे हैं। तो इसलिए जनता के साथ साथ वकीलों के साथ
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि अदालत के इस आदेश में कुछ गलत नहीं है। लेट मी टेक दिस वंस अगेन टू मिस्टर आसिम सान्याल। मिस्टर सान्याल, इन योर एप्रिसिएशन, कैन एंड शुड अ कोर्ट allot or give oxygen concentrators that may have been confiscated or recovered in raids to policemen and to judicial officers? After all, as Mr. Manan Mishra of the Bar Council of India says, they are frontline COVID fighters, and they're fighting at this point of time not only to keep the society safe but battling for their lives, sir.
Gaurav, today everybody in India is battling for their lives. In fact, it's a common citizen, and in my opinion, the citizens should be treated equally, and the class divide should not be created. This particular judgment comes as a bit of a surprise for a consumer activist like me, who treats every consumer as a citizen of India and deserves the equal right. If you create bifurcation in the society in terms of deliveries of essential commodities, and I repeat again, essential commodities, which come under an act, and which actually prelude that particular judgment by the government of India, which has identified already the frontline warriors and special privilege to them. If you create further bifurcation, then I think, in my opinion, it's not proper for any court to actually adjudicate
Dr.
the matter
Vikram
in
Singh,
favor of a particular society.
Okay, Dr. Vikram Singh, where do you stand on this? Where do you stand? Should the court have allotted oxygen concentrators to the police and to some judicial officers, sir?
Gaurav, I respect and salute the orders of the Honorable Court, and what has been pronounced by the Honorable Court, we as citizens of the country need to respect and implement the orders passed by the court. As Mr. Manan Mishra, the Honorable Chairman of the Bar Council of India, has said, that the lawyers are the officers of the court, and the way the High Courts and the Supreme Court are functioning today, they are our guardian angels, and to safeguard the interest of lawyers, the Corona warriors, and make no mistake, this is not an ordinary property. In Hindi, they say it is mal muqaddamati. In English, they say it's case property, and the case property is given in supurdagi. It is not allotted. And the fact of the matter is it is being allotted to any other person who is not authorized or accustomed to holding case properties, then it might be compromised. A case property has to be given to those who know how to handle case property. And the police and the courts are the best repositories of case property. And therefore, the court in its wisdom has allotted mal muqaddamati or case property to the courts and to the police officers who can handle it best and put it to appropriate use. I would certainly welcome the order of the court.
You welcome this order. Vikas Singh, the court in its wisdom, in another case of confiscated oxygen concentrators, allotted 12 to DCP Dwarka, a couple to Saket, Tis Hazari and Dwarka courts for judicial officers battling COVID. Appropriate order, or in your appreciation, as some argue, should all the confiscated case property be sent to government hospitals, whether the central government, state government or district hospitals?
Well, according to me, the point is not as to whom it is allotted. The point is because normally this kind of property is to be kept in the Malkhana and not put to any use. So what happens when there is supposing a case property in the crime, it continues to remain in the Malkhana till the trial goes on.
But sir, these are extraordinary times and these are required to save lives.
So the point is that this property was either the choice was either to let it rot in the Malkhana or put it to some use. Now, in the wisdom of the judge, if he felt that if it is given to certain people whom he feels that could preserve the case property for being used later on whenever it is called for, supposing if he were to give it to the government for the purposes of using in the hospital, he would have no control over the property.
Yes.
So if he is giving it to certain officials, police or the judiciary, he knows that it will be as if it is in the Malkhana. So it is just that it is, instead of being just locked and not being used, it is being used and can be recovered again as and when it is required for the purposes of the adjudication of the case. So I don't see anything wrong in the marriage. In fact, it is salutary that instead of just letting the concentrator rot and not to put to any use, you see what Supreme Court has done.
Yes.
In a case of an environmental pollution case also, in Tamil Nadu, they allowed Vedanta to start the oxygen plant because they said, although this is a company which is a violator in every way and it has not got any approval to start the plant, but today the need of the hour is to have more and more oxygen.
Okay.
So even a violator who has, in spite of the pollution that it has caused, has harmed people, still only for the limited purpose, because the purpose is
to save lives,
saving more lives than the ones which are ultimately,
So, Mr. Manan Mishra,
so it's a question of making a better choice rather than letting it rot in the Malkhana.
Okay, Mr. Manan Mishra, why should then all the confiscated concentrators, not be sent to a government hospital where government takes custody and the government says we will make it available to court as and when required, whether it's the central government or the state government or district hospital, let them be accountable. That is where the helpless and the hapless Indian who's gasping for oxygen will truly benefit and perhaps create a ward for the frontline COVID fighters like the police and like respectable members of the judiciary.
नहीं, आपके बात से मैं एग्री करता हूं, सरकारी अस्पतालों को दिए जाएं, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि गरीब आदमी, जरूरतमंद आदमी किसी प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में वो अपना इलाज नहीं ले रहा है। सरकारी अस्पतालों की स्थिति आप जानते हैं आप बखूबी जानते हैं, सरकार के थ्रू उसका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो, उसमें हमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, लेकिन प्रॉपर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए। अगर प्रॉपर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होता, सरकार की जो भी मशीनरीज है किसी भी स्टेट की हो, अगर वो बखूबी काम करती, तो आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट को या हाई कोर्ट्स को इसमें इंटरफियर करके डे टू डे हियरिंग करके रोज कुछ ना कुछ ऑर्डर पास करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती।
Some would argue, Dr. Vikram Singh, that would this not create a conflict of interest of sorts? The police confiscate and of course, after a court order, they get to retain some of the recovered property. Would this not be conflict of interest?
Certainly not, Mr. Gaurav Sawant. I would tell you the legal aspect of this, that once a property, a case property, is given to a particular individual or an institution, it is known as supurdagi or custody, and the person who holds it is known as supurdagar. And the supurdagi and the supurdagar are technical terms who should be well versed how to handle and keep safe custody of the case property till the court summons it back. Giving it to a private hospital with all the lofty ideals, I agree, but at the same time there is no conflict of interest, because a government hospital has its onerous duties and perhaps may not be the best repository to hold in its sacred custody a case property that can have far-reaching ramifications. If it were to be compromised, then the important case would end in acquittals and the benefit will go to the accused. Okay. It is perhaps in this thought that the Honorable Court has entrusted the property, the case property, to the solemn custody or the supurdagi to the police and the courts, who know how to hold the case property in safety. So,
Aasim Sanyal, you buy this argument, because it would make, as Vikas Singh was rightly saying, it makes no sense to keep case property in Malkhana at this point of time. This is court property, no doubt. It has to be used to save lives. Might as well save lives of policemen and judicial officers who themselves are fighting for their lives at this point of time.
A very good point made, Gaurav. But then the whole point is basically that if you have a property, so the whole argument of the court or the judiciary is welcome, but then you have to divide it in two halves, in fact, two portions. The first is utility. I completely agree with the process of utilizing the confiscated equipments or whatever has been confiscated by Delhi police to a better use. Completely agree with that particular frame of mind. The only problem is basically allotting it to a particular society which feels privileged to use it because they're the frontline workers. Now, again, I come to that particular point that the frontline workers have been defined, they have been identified, they have been given privileges, and obviously, if further privileges are given by either the central or state government, I welcome this particular move. But right now, giving it
so
to
you say it should anyway come from the government.
Most importantly, Gaurav, it is that such orders will actually escalate the particular case. More the police custody of these products, the distribution in a channel that the honorable judge feels like distributing it to that particular class of
Vikas saying,
is going to be the distribution problem.
The effort is to seek the same kind of transparency in the foreign aid that is coming into our country. All the oxygen concentrators that are coming in, whether they're going to central government hospitals, state government hospitals, district hospitals, are they being used for the common man, and that they're not being either locked up in some customs go down or going into offices in North Block or South Block or other, offices of the high and mighty.
Absolutely. So, well, if there is an importation, it's a different point altogether. Because if the importation is done at the governmental level,
yes,
the government has to follow the protocol of who are the frontline workers or what is the priority and where to go. I totally agree with you. If it is made to wait even for a day in the customs house or anywhere, it is criminal neglect, and it should not happen at all, because these are very, very difficult times, and these are very, very the government can't act in the manner it normally acts of with the slow pace. So if there is any importation happening, it has to come into the system and it has to go the way the priorities have been fixed. So it's not a case. Here is a very extraordinary case. This is not a case of a normal importation. Here is a case of a normal criminal case where the property normally rots in the Malkhana.
Yes.
So if the choice is whether to let it rot or put it to some use.
Okay.
So in that choice, they have to decide where it can be used for the purposes of utilization in these COVID times, as well as remain a case property as and when required for the purposes of the trial in this case.
But in context of the foreign aid that's coming in, sir,
the judge has made a choice of giving it to certain
fair enough, sir.
people. So it's not a question of giving them any priority.
Okay, fair enough, sir. Dr. Vikram Singh, 21st century India demands accountability from our bureaucracy, from our system. If foreign aid is coming in, where is it going? So we can't afford to let that, all those oxygen concentrators or all the other equipment that's coming in either get into that black market or be in the offices or homes of the rich and the powerful.
Absolutely, Mr. Gaurav Sawant. The aid that comes must go to the needy and those who need it the most, certainly not the rich and the powerful. The government needs to put the best foot forward and without any inordinate delay. In fact, no delay whatsoever. They should work around the clock, 24/7, and ensure that the aid, when it comes, is processed without any delay and reaches as per a blueprint, as per a plan. And also, those who are needy get immediately. The rich and the powerful can wait for a change and let those who are needy, the destitute, get it first. This is what New India requires, and New India will have zero tolerance to government inefficiency and inefficiency of the Babus. Mr. Gaurav.
Absolutely. And what is also required, in case the central government says they're short-staffed, less bureaucrats, bring in more bureaucrats from the state, use the armed forces. The armed forces are excellent in logistics management. They can absolutely help to ensure that all resources reach the common man in government hospitals all across. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me on this very enlightening discussion. I need to slip